Here it is.
Hello, we are Appesatto, Alejandra Insaurralde, and Mayra Zurita. Today we will talk about context of situation and context of culture. So, Alan, thank you. Okay, this is a play called Dr. Faustus. It is a play about a German scholar who decries the limits of human knowledge by selling his soul to the devil. He affirms that the famous statement in the Bible, "In the beginning was the word," must be replaced by the statement, "In the beginning was the action." So here we have this quotation. For this quotation, we can affirm that meaning must be conquered anew in every utterance through the verbal actions and interaction of the speakers and hearers, writers and readers. Okay, let's continue. Okay, his name is Bronislaw Milowski. He was an Austro-Hungarian anthropologist. He was working at describing the practices of the native inhabitants of the Trobriand Islands when he discovered that the inhabitants' language was the key to understanding the meaning of their practices.
Okay, so Malinowski claims that in order to understand a language, it is not enough to understand and write down the meaning of the words. We also need to understand why they say what they say, how they say it, and to whom they say it in a specific context. This context is called the context of situation. However, the context of situation is not enough. We should also link the language to the belief system of the speakers, their mindsets, their social organization, their way of living, their concept of time and space, etc., etc. This broader context is called context of culture. Therefore, we can assume that the semantic meaning of verbal signs had to be supplemented by the pragmatic meaning of verbal action in context, said by France, 1998, meaning it's then not only created through what the speakers say, semantic. Meaning is created through what the speakers do with the language. It's referred to pragmatic. So in consequence, the meaning of words and sentences are not universals that happen to be differently labeled in different languages. They depend on and are part of the culture of community. Thanks.
Very good. Until the discovery of these anthropologists, the term coherence was only used as the correlation between utterances in a text. So that was the only way in which we used the term coherence. However, when we are aware of the context of situation and the context of culture that we have been discussing, we're being aware of the pragmatics of a specific piece of language. So a new term is coined. This is the term pragmatic coherence. So for example, a text can be incoherent, something like, he worked hard but earned little money and died very poor at the age of 35. 2 years later, his father took him to play. So we can see that here, the text is incoherent. However, we can also be incoherent in terms of pragmatics. For instance, here we have a situation where someone is asking for help, but well, the other person didn't understand what that person was saying. So here we have this new term of pragmatic coherence or incoherence. And finally, we have some questions that we can discuss or that you can think on your own. For example, why can't we learn a language in full only by writing down the meaning of words? Because of what we have been saying, right? How can we teachers raise students' awareness of the context of situation and the context of culture of a second language, and if that is necessary for our students? Finally, are our students aware, either consciously or subconsciously, of the existence of the context of culture and the context of situation in English. Do they know that the context is in Argentina, for instance, is different to the context in English? And then the last question, are Argentina's and England's context of culture and context of situation different? And if they are different, should we teach or should we raise awareness in our students? So thank you so much for listening.